So estimating quotients. Estimating quotients is something that you cannot use a calculator for, so that's why you see the no calculator symbol up above. When we are estimating quotients, we can break apart these two words. Estimating means to find a number that is a friendly number, something that we can do in our head. We want mental math. So estimating really means we want to be able to do mental math. And then quotient just means that we're solving a division problem, and we should know that already. So step one says that we are to round the dividend, and we need to know these parts. So if you don't know those parts, go back to the last video and practice that. Round the dividend to a number that is compatible with the divisor. So dividend and divisor, we should know those. Compatible, well, that means a number that works well with another number. So we need to be able to find a number that works well with another number. What does that mean? Okay, well, let's practice. Here's a number here that is the dividend, and here's a number here that's the divisor, and we want these two numbers to work well together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the first two digits of that number, and here I have a 15, and I want to find these two numbers to work well with this number here. So the first thing I'm going to do is make multiples of this 5, and I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And I'm going to go through this list, and I'm going to say, well, what is 15 the closest to? Well, okay, I'm going to go through, 15. Well, can't get anything closer than 15. So I'm going to keep it 15. And then just like in normal rounding rules, my last digit is going to turn to a 0. Anything after it turns to a 0. And then the rest of the division statement stays the same. Now, if I was to cover up that 0, 15 divided by 5 would be 3. And then that 0 just comes through to give me 30. And that's where we get the 30. So we can try it again. Circle the first two digits. We're going to make multiples of the 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 50, 56, just kidding, 64, 72, 80. And I'm going to say, well, what is 62 closest to? So I'm going to look, and I'm going to say, well, 62 falls in between 56 and 64. Well, okay, 56, it is 6 away from. 64, it is 2 away from. So 62 is clearly closest to 64. And then I'm going to say, well, the 3 is going to turn into a 0. Divide by 8. And I'm going to say, well, 64 divided by 8. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. And then the 0 makes it 80. Now, I would suggest that you guys pause this and then you try it on your own. I'm going to continue to try the next two and then see how you do. So, 35. We're going to do 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60. And I'm going to say, well, 35 falls in between the 30 and the 36. It's 5 away from 30, but it's only 1 away from 36, so it's clearly closest to 36. And then that 2 is going to turn into a 0, and then I'm going to divide by 6. So 36 divided by 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my 0 tags along, and my answer would be 60. Next one, and this is a really good one because I often have this question when there's practice. So we're going to do multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And I'm going to say, well, what is 13 closest to? Well, 13 falls in between 12 and 14. It's 1 away from 12, but it's also 1 away from 14. So which one do I go to? Well, just like normal rounding rules, if it falls in the middle, like 5 falls in the middle, you round up. So we're going to round up to 14. 6 is going to turn to a 0. And then we're going to divide by 2. So if I cover up my 0, 14 divided by 2 is 7. Bring my 0 in, my quotient would be 70. So when I'm estimating quotients, I am going to find compatible numbers. If I don't know my factors, I'm going to list those multiples to be able to help me to find the number that it's closest to and then divide. Good luck.